Good afternoon. My name is Pandu Ranga Rao. I am Head of Technical Operations, Altair India. My responsibility is consulting and strategic initiatives. Today, I would like to share our engagement with startups and how we have supported them, mentored them to success. A brief introduction about Altair first.
By land, by sea, and by sky, we explore what's beyond the horizon, what lies between now and a new day, and test the limits. We stand up to uncertainty to make all of our lives more secure. We take on what challenges us so we can all live our best lives. And when we play, we find ways to play tougher, faster, smarter. Whether the goal is safer, stronger, greater, or greener, we go further. We innovate, iterate, celebrate, and then test the limits again. Because the work is never done. When the work is making the world a more connected, a more accessible, and a more sustainable place to live. A secure future demands smart design today. So let's design, solve, simulate, optimize, and analyze like the future depends on it. Altair. Look beyond.
As you could see, we are promoted in 1985 with 11,000 plus customers, 3,000 plus engineers, scientists, and we have 150 plus products and about 450 plus million in F19. So Altair is a global technology company that provides software and cloud solutions in the areas of product development, high performance computing, and data analytics. Altair enables organizations in nearly every industry to compete more effectively in a connected world while creating more sustainable future. Essentially, we would like to transform our customer decision making with the help of simulation, data analytics, and high performance computing. As I mentioned, we have three major areas in the product design side: design, modeling, and visualization, physics, simulation, data analytics, IoT, high performance computing, and we have a partner alliance which has 150 plus products. So you looking at our customer base, this is a list of major customers, and we practically work in every vertical. Now coming to the e-mobility, we help our customers with simulation-driven design to shorten the design cycles, improve the vehicle efficiency, and we address all the complex challenges and help them for lightweighting, increasing the propulsion efficiency, and system optimization. Now on electric mobility. So our services are not limited to the motor alone, but I would like you to take a glimpse at what we do with the motor manufacturers. Starting from the concept design, we help them to test with different topologies and compare the machine performance and optimize the performance across any duty cycle for any specific need. And in the detailed design, we help them to validate electromagnetic, effective cooling strategies, and multi-physics optimization. help them to optimize the system as per the performance duty cycle. Now coming to our experience with the startups. It's very exciting. Now if we look at the product, services, solutions, infrastructure, their offerings are many. Starting from retrofitting options and looking at the products of two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, and looking at last mile carriers, people movers, solutions for differently abled people, and they would like to spin off their technologies, automotive to non-automotive, several options, several services they are focusing on. This is the diversity of the product offering. Now looking at the big picture, the startups really dare to dream big. They don't look at a product and for a limited market. They look at multiple geographies, franchise, and really growing big. And they are not designing products for the regulations. They are not designing products not just for the regulations, not just for the specific requirements which are clearly defined. They go beyond. They want to give a fantastic customer experience, memorable customer experience in terms of safety, security, smart, and they want to be sustainable, environmentally friendly, eventually a very cool product. And they have very high sense of urgency. In my past 20 years of experience, I had seen product development coming from 7 years to 3 years. In the last 10 years of my experience, I've seen those 3 years come to 18 months. But when I'm working with startups, I believe these months will come to weeks and weeks will come to days, and they have real sense of urgency. And they challenge the process. When it comes to time to market, when it comes to cost, and it comes to quality, they want to give best to the customer, and they are always challenging the market. And risk-taking ability is very, very high. They would like to challenge the existing customer perceptions and go beyond. Now, if we really look at the strengths of an existing matured OEM, they have products, they have markets, they have customer, infrastructure, process, complete ecosystem. If you look at a startup, they are highly agile, they have a different mindset altogether, they are innovative, and they have really high enthusiasm, which is contagious. Looking at the startups, if we see their challenges, it starts at the validating their concepts, creating a differentiator, planning for the variants, looking even at the failure modes, where the products are likely to fail, where are they likely to face challenges. They need to look at ID, industrial design, prototyping, manufacturing, and scaling up. And they have to have simulation-driven design to expedite the product development process. And they have to look at product verification, which is part of development, validation, as well as homologation. With all these challenges, startups are expected to look at a process which will develop a product as well as a plant and machinery concurrently. There is a challenge of expertise which is required for the cross-functional product development. And as we have seen, most of these products are multidisciplinary. They have a challenge of getting the right human resources and the infrastructure. And the biggest challenge or the biggest frustration could be the time which is taken from the concept to product. The real excitement, when they see a concept, they're really excited. But the process of taking a concept to the product could be really enduring. So now looking at this process, which involves development, testing, and homologation, this is a very involving process and ultimately the scalability when the products are available. Now, what is it Altair can do? Altair can offer simulation-driven design, which accelerates the complete product development process along with the tools and technologies. And we support them with optimization process, balancing the cost as well as the product specification. Now coming at scalability, that means growing from the product to the volumes. That is where Altair can step in and talk about manufacturing simulation. Altair can provide the access to the Altair ecosystem, which starts from the Altair University, students, colleges, partners, customers, vendors, several stakeholders. And then we talk about the risk mitigation. We are quite proud to say that we are engaged with Altair, one of the successful startups. They have used Altair products since the beginning, and every time I meet Altair, they come up with new challenges. I go to update them about the new advances, they give me more challenges. That's really exciting. And similarly, globally, we are engaged with several startups. As I said, not just with the products, but also the solution. Full plug is one of the charging solution, very innovative solution. We have helped them to go to market very quickly with limited prototyping and extensive virtual validation. Now coming to our Altair Startup Challenge. With our experience of engagement with startups in structured and unstructured manners, helping them with the trainings, webinars, giving them the tools, we thought, why not we engage with them in large scale in a very structured manner with large numbers and connect and understand what are their challenges, what are their requirements, because their products are different, their processes are different, their expectations are different. So we also wanted to introduce simulation-driven technology and enable them to accelerate their product development and reduce their cycle time. And while doing so, we wanted to really understand what are the requirements, their expectations from our process and our tools, and see how we can upgrade and meet their expectations. Mentor and handhold, just giving the tools would not be enough. We need to give our experience, our values to them, and to help them to meet their development, design and development challenges. So we started our first Altair Grand Challenge in 2019, somewhere in June. And in the next 4 months, it was a fantastic engagement with the young startups. And based on the success, we started the Altair Challenge in 2020 as well. I would like to take you through very few cases where they could leverage Altair offerings, Altair tools, technologies, and mentorings. As a part of Altair Challenge, we offered prize money, which was important, but not so important as the mentorship. They really loved the mentorship, and they could get the access to Altair forums and platforms to connect with our ecosystem. Now, we also help them on prototype development for the final validation and confirmation. Now, if we look at the stage 1 part, we received 206 applications, out of which we chose 33 applications, and we had these teams working on 3 themes: digital part, product development, and embedded systems. And I wanted to share the success story of few of the very diverse cases. As I said, we mentored 30 of them, but we would like to share the major ones which are with different products. So Stereo Mobility Private Limited, they wanted to design electric motors for 2-wheelers with best winding and to improve the efficiency. They have a very unique product, and they wanted to make sure this product is validated virtually before it comes to them. Their permanent magnet synchronous motor and their common controller for BLDC and PSM is very unique. When it comes to the adding the value, Altair helped them with reduction of the cost involved in prototyping and increasing the product efficiency by 3% through the virtual simulation. Now coming to a very interesting application, which is a AI-based retrofit device for helping to correct the driver distraction, his drowsiness, collision warnings. So this retrofit device, utilizing the sensors, 2 cameras, utilizing the sensor, location data to recommend EV charging stations and route. This is one of the applications which they foresee for the electric vehicles. Otherwise, this is an accessory which will enhance the vehicle safety when retrofitted. And Altair has helped them not only in the product development, even to showcase the proof of concept without prototyping. That was really helpful for them. So they could talk to several customers and demonstrate the proof of concept virtually, and then leverage Altair tools for exploring the various applications. Bourgeois Motors, a company which provides motors and controllers for EV OEMs and design-based solutions. They they had an expectation to develop a motor which is low cost, low weight, single stator and single rotor, which is a platform based. Again, they used Altair tools extensively to gain the confidence prior to physically developing a prototype. And one of the biggest value addition was the multidisciplinary, multi-physics, and using the thermal analysis as well as electromagnetics out of our tools. And a very nice compliment from the CEO of Hojwan Motors. He faced Altair is not only listens but acts. And we celebrated the startup success at the end of the 2019. We had 3 companies walking away with the prizes and also the competency. Based on the success of 2019, we again started a challenge to attract more startups and mentor them. And this started in the month of March in 2020. And we had again 3 themes: simulation-driven design for accelerating the product development, model-based embedded system development, digital transformation leveraging IoT, AI, and ML. So the industries which were attracted for this were from different verticals: automotive, aerospace, defense, robotics, data sciences, healthcare and medical industry. And as you are aware, because of the current challenges, there is a lot of interest and a lot of startups are focusing on the medical and healthcare industry. So we had very interesting participation in 2019 as well as 2020. As you can see, the electric vehicle and motor related startups were good number and they are increasing. And out of the 2020, I wanted to showcase a couple of startups which are very exciting, very interesting. Skyraptor, they wanted to challenge a 60 plus years of technology of bicycles, having the cassette, having the chain derailleur problems, cassette challenges. They have come out with a product of closed gearboxes, which will enhance the experience of bicycling and reduce the pedaling effort. So this particular product has extensively used our tools in simulation. Both the issues of the derailing as well as the frequent maintenance challenges were taken care. And they have a very big picture. They are actually looking at upgrading this bike into different segments of healthcare, going for a gym, going for, non-automotive applications with a sealed epicyclic gearbox. And this has been extremely encouraging for them to see how the simulation can help in reduction of the prototypes and carrying out several iterations. And another startup which is exploring very actively our tools and finding a lot of utilization right in the early stages is the Raziel, which is offering the automatic drives for the EVs. Again, a modular concept with different platforms. They are able to reduce the prototype building exercise and able to try out several iterations at the virtual stage and using the multi-physics as well. So we are also working with several startups which are promoting the content for the electrical ecosystem. And we also understood one of the biggest challenge for the electric motor startups, electric EV startups is getting the right resources. So we are actually addressing the problem at the universities. Our Altair University offers pre-EMobility resources, which includes the content, webinars, trainings, etc. And we have tied up with the College of Engineering Pune and several institutes to offer the courses connected with EMobility. We are also tied up with the IIT Chennai incubation cell to mentor and offer our tools and technology. We are collaborating with ARA for offering the courses on EVs for the startup participants as well as the young engineers. Our mentoring and supporting start with the student events like IBAHA and Shelley Kumaritan. We have been closely associated with the student events where we offer them the required trainings, exposure, and mentoring to prepare for these events. Eventually, as you can see, Altair solutions can be used across the systems, components, and the full product for the EVs. Now, coming at the experience, again, to have a recap, while they would like to challenge the process and they want to give the best of the customer experience, and they have high sense of urgency and high appreciation to the aspects of commercial aspects of scaling and diversifying, we are happy that Altair proposition has appealed to the startups through mentoring, offering the technologies in simulation-driven design or process and ecosystem of connecting with the universities, suppliers, customers, as well as partners. Thank you very much for the opportunity.